What's really going on here? You know what I'm saying? Alright. So to make it plain and simple, they're trying to make it more hype up than it is. It says you freezing? It's freezing? It's freezing. Let me know when it's coming in clear. Yo, look at our 3G. It went down to like... It's good now? Is it good now? All right. All right. Are we good now? All good. All right. So. Clear. Chris. Okay. So here's what's going on with this investigation. Okay. So that we make everything clear for everybody out there. All right. The trolls, with knowing our location, has done everything and anything they could to find any weakness or anything that they could find to try to make life hard for me. And they will use anything and everything. Okay, so here's what's happening. Okay, so the trolls called the U.S. Embassy, right? A whole bunch of times, hundreds of times, right? The U.S. Embassy, they're telling them, they're sending them videos, they're telling them like, oh yeah, what's going on in Palenque? And so the first investigation, so that they cover their ass, the U.S. Embassy have to cover their ass. This is what's going on. So the U.S. Embassy gets a whole bunch of calls from trolls saying that there's a girl in danger. She's against her will. She doesn't want to be there. We have proof. Now, if the U.S. Embassy gets a whole bunch of calls and doesn't do nothing, and something happens to that girl, they're held liable. So the U.S. Embassy has to do something. So what they do is they investigate to make sure they cover their ass that that's not what's going on. So the first time they came by, they wanted to see what's going on, right? So they came, they interviewed us, they seen everything was all right. Then Palenque sent that back to the U.S. Embassy. They had made sure everything was okay. We showed y'all the pictures on the first investigation. Unfortunately, like anyone else, I'm in a relationship with a woman and things happen. So basically, me and my wife, she got angry. We get angry with each other. We have arguments like any other relationship. Like a girl never broke up with a dude before and say, I don't want to be with him, and then get back together. Like that doesn't happen in human. But because it's me, you're holding her hostage. You seen when I dropped her off, she came back. But when she left, she went and stated she didn't want to be there. And unfortunately, her father was coming out here anyway since the first time. He was already coming out. I don't know why y'all making it seem like, oh, she called me, so I came out there. No, you was coming out here prior to that, and anybody who's been following this whole thing, you would know that Pops was already talking about ganging up, getting donations to come out here. And he was going to punch me in my face, all that stuff. This is way before she went and left. He was already saying that he was coming out here. So now, I guess, when she did that, boom. Huh?
I gave him the leverage to go further.
It gave him the leverage to go further. So he took advantage of that moment, and he took it, and he came. Now, if your daughter was being held hostage, at the point where she seen you, she would have ran to you because she knows she could have ran to safety. But they're trying to make it seem like she's not psychologically stable. So now, they get the number to the Palenque police station. So the trolls gang up and start calling the Palenque police station. Now Palenque has to cover their ass. The U.S. Embassy had to cover their ass with their investigation. Now Palenque has to cover their ass because a whole bunch of U.S. citizens are calling the office and saying, yo, there's women there in danger. Whether that's true or not, it doesn't matter. They have to investigate. So now, what do they do to us? Middle of the night, they run down on us. Right? This is what happens. Palenque did nothing wrong at all. The U.S. Embassy did nothing wrong. Thank you to the U.S. Embassy. Thank you to the Palenque police because you did your job. We understand your job. Your job is to protect and serve. If you hear that a girl is in danger, of course, you're going to investigate the situation to make sure she's not in danger. And that's exactly what they did. So when they came in, they tried to take our wives, take my wife and my child. And we were like, no, we're not leaving without them. So we wasn't leaving without them. Boom, they came in and they took all the cell phones, rightfully so, as an investigation should, because they were told that there was child pornography here, there was human trafficking, there was women against their will. It was all kind of crazy shit they were told. So they got a warrant to come search. Duh. If I'm a country and you are alliance to me and there's someone in danger here, of course I'm gonna go and investigate. They had every right to come and investigate, to see what was going on, especially if somebody was truly in danger. And that's what they were under the impression, that someone is truly in danger. So they came and they got the woman. We did not leave without our woman. We stayed with our woman. They wanted to separate the woman for us, but we wasn't having it. We were like, no, we going with our wives. Palenque, the city of Palenque, this is not like the U.S. These people are human. They're very human. Mexican people are very human. They're family oriented. So it was hard for them to split us up like that. Because when they came in there, they seen that that wasn't the situation. That there was no harm being done. Because there's real people out there human trafficking. There's real people in danger. And so they realized immediately as they come in there, they just calm down. And then they start talking to us. And they realized there was no one hungry or under abuse. There was no one. They seen it. As soon as they came in, they realized like, wow, this is a false alarm. And so they calmed down and they let us all come together. We come together and they interviewed every woman here. Every woman here completely. Psychologically, they had a psychiatrist, doctor, checked everybody to make sure that they was A-okay. Now, they still took the laptops and the computers to check and see, as they should do that. I'm totally in alliance with that. I think that they should check our laptops, our phones, to make sure that we're not doing anything that is said that is being done. So they have every right to go check. We actually gave them the passwords, like here's the passwords too, and you can keep that. Here's the thing. This has created a roar up in the town, and I'm going to give it to the ladies and I'm going to let them tell a story about what they happened and how they feel about it. But I'm going to tell you my shit first, and I want to explain to the public what's going on. There's nothing wrong with what Palenque did. There's nothing wrong with the U.S. Embassy. They did their job. Thank you for the U.S. Embassy doing their job, because sometimes we feel like they don't even care about black people. But thank you for the U.S. Embassy for doing their job. Thank you for Palenque for doing their job. They try to say I got the police underpay. Like, that's just crazy. The police ran down on us. They took us with our wives, and she went to see her pops. You understand what I'm saying? And after that, because they found no drugs, no crimes, so they couldn't arrest us because there was no crimes. So everybody's free and we all left together. They still have our property because it's under investigation to make sure there's no child pornography in there or no stupid shit that was the indications that it was, or whatever was allegedly there. So they have to search that stuff to make sure to cover their ass. Palenque, from what they did, they have to cover their ass and make all the paperwork that says, look, we did the research. The girl does not want to be there. Although they probably had a fight or something. She said she didn't want to go. They found out everything. They had them there for hours. They released everybody with us. No crimes, gave everybody their passport back, and we left. Now, would you stay? Would you stay? Would you stay in the same house where all of this, where people have that kind of access to you? No. So we're left. We left. Naturally, we left. We're not running because we're not under arrest. We left because too many people have our address. You will not be having my location anymore because the trolls are immature. And like I said, I understand even my trolls. I understand my trolls. I'm going to tell you how, and then I'm going to give it to the ladies. I understand my trolls in the sense that there is a sense of concern when it comes to the females because they seen certain things on there that I put live, and it sparked in them as a way to capitalize off that. And I realized that everybody wants to be known, and everybody wants to be seen, and everybody wants to feel important. Everybody wants to feel important. So it's nothing wrong with people capitalizing on a situation. So to my trolls, for your concern, I appreciate that. I appreciate your concern from the woman here. It's good to know that we care about each other to that point, that you would do an investigation, that you would make sure that everybody is okay. Thank you. Seriously. It might have been handled immaturely, but that's neither here nor there. That just shows you who you are. You understand what I'm saying? But you being concerned, everybody being concerned about the children and women here says that you're a good person. But it's when it gets to the point where you're getting attention for harassment, for making someone's life actually uncomfortable. And I understand, like I told you, I understand Eliana said one thing and she did another, and I understand how that looked, and I get it. And it gave you grounds to do what you wanted to do anyway, which made you feel powerful in some kind of way, to clout, to just get. Some people never had this kind of attention before. So some of my trolls, they've been getting views, they've been getting attention for doing this. And because they're getting attention for doing it, it gives them motivation. It gives them a battery in their back to keep going and find more and find more. Because if they don't continue to do this, then they fear that they won't get the same attention anymore. And I want you to know that the universe has given all of us gifts, and that you have a gift without tearing somebody else down to get the same amount of attention if you just hone in on your gift and practice it. But if we take the short way out and try to get around the corner to get views, just do things immorally, guess what's going to happen? It's going to fall back on you. Why? Here's what's going to happen. After they do the investigation and they realize that there was nothing wrong, we didn't do anything, we had nothing to hide, obviously we didn't commit any crimes, they didn't find any drugs, they didn't find any harmful weapons, nothing like that. We were solid. So once they realize we're solid, you can't do this anymore. So if you keep calling, then they're going to investigate on you because they realize it's not us. There's no danger here. So you're really helping us out, and you're actually weeding out the stupid shit, because now you can't continue to do that, because at the end of the day, there's nothing wrong going on here. There is real people out there that's really in danger, that's really going through human trafficking. There's real people, like really, this right here, anybody that watched this is for a little minute. These people are intelligent. The government is intelligent. The government is far more intelligent than my trolls. So they are not stupid. The government is here to protect and serve the people. And they pretty much do a good job of that. So they're going to find out that I'm being trolled. Yes, I say some controversial things. Yes, I say some things that can be confused, that need to be researched and investigated about. Absolutely. But is there anything wrong with what I'm doing? Absolutely not. I've done no crime. I'm not harming nobody. I didn't ask nobody to come here. I'm not keeping nobody here against their will. So therefore, I have nothing to run from. I have nothing to hide. You can have it. It's yours. And now that you do I want you to do a thorough investigation so that this can no longer go on. Because that's what they're going to do. They're going to realize, like, oh, this guy is being cyberbullied. And, you know, there's people there. Yes, I'm in a relationship just like anybody else. When your woman's mad, she do stupid stuff sometimes. So what? Same scenario, different play out, because we're public figures.